My name's Adam, and this is my rotary engine out of my FD RX-7. It's the 13B REW, and it needs a rebuild at just 20,000 miles. Well, it's time. The motor's coming out today, and I've been really excited for this moment, but I gotta admit, this episode was the absolute hardest by far. It was smooth sailing up until this point, and then I hit a whole bunch of road bumps. Not necessarily road bumps, but I hit a bunch of like really difficult moments that took way, the 5-minute job that turns into an hour-plus job because you don't have the right tool, or the angle you can't just get right. It just becomes so much more difficult. A lot of this episode was actually spent underneath of the car, and because I don't have a lift, I wasn't able to film a lot of the really juicy stuff from under the car. Taking the starter off, releasing the throwout bearing, unbolting the downpipe from underneath of the car, those types of and transmission bolts for the bell housing, those types of things I was not able to get well on camera, so I didn't include it. I did, however, shoot it with a point of view with my meta glasses, which I'll post on my social media, but for the purposes of this video, they didn't make it. Getting the downpipe off, definitely one of the most difficult jobs I've had to do thus far on the FD. I've already done this job once before. My vehicle came from Japan with a factory downpipe, which, if you're not aware, because it is a right-hand drive JDM version of the FD, the Japanese versions actually come with a catless downpipe from the factory, as opposed to the US versions that have a catted downpipe. So that's a plus, right? Like, the factory downpipe is great. I ended up replacing it with an HKS downpipe that was a 3-inch, so I upgraded from the 2.5 catless factory to the 3-inch, which you see here. So this is the HKS that the heat wrap is just not looking good. I heat wrapped it. I bought it used from my tuner. It was in great condition, a little surface rust, but that's fine. It's a downpipe. I did wrap it in the heat wrap. It looks like the heat wrap metal zip tie, I don't know what you would call that, broke toward the catted mid-pipe section. So the heat wrap apparently was just dragging on the ground and shredded. So that was a really difficult job. That is about the last thing I did under the car after taking the starter off, after disconnecting or releasing the throwout bearing. Those things were just a pain in the butt. I probably spent like an hour trying to release the throwout bearing because I just didn't have a big enough screwdriver to stick through the little service hatch, the service window in the transmission, but I ended up doing it with my father-in-law's pry bar, which just happened to be the perfect length. From there, I just had to take the hood off and prep for getting the engine out. I put the hoist in place, and it was only now that I realized the front bumper had to come off. A couple of bolts later, didn't film this, but a couple of bolts later, the front bumper came off. I was very adamant about taking my precious time taking this damn front bumper off, because that's the Mazda Speed A-Spec front bumper, original from the late 90s. The original owner, if you're not familiar, had the option to take your car back to Mazda for the Mazda Speed tuning division to tune the car, and if you had any of the Mazda Speed items selected from their catalog, they would install it, kit it for you, and then you were awarded a Mazda Speed badge, which my car has. It says tuned by Mazda Speed with a serial number. So I wanted to make sure I was taking extra care of that bumper because the guy I used to import it said that was like a $3,000 to $5,000 bumper. You can't find them. They don't really make replicas, so I wanted to take extra care. So once I got that off, the crash bar came off, and then it was just a matter of hooking up the hooks, literally the hooks, to get the engine out. Now, the nice thing about the FD, the 13B, is that it has these built-in OEM engine hoist hooks. Sorry, I don't know what you would call them, like the connecting points. My buddy dropped off the hoist, and I just got to work. Now, I got to admit, this is my first time pulling a motor by myself. I've been a part of motor pulls before. I haven't been like the leader in pulling a motor. So this was a new experience for me, a good learning experience as well. I mean, really, this whole project has been quite the learning experience. Everything I'm doing here is really my first time doing pulling an engine, working on the engine this deep, and getting it out. And there it was. The only hiccup I had with getting this engine out was that there was one bolt that I guess I didn't slide all the way out of the bell housing, so that was getting caught up. But once I got that free, here it is. I mean, it was really, with the exception of the stuff under the car, which was really just difficult because I didn't have a lift and you're working on your back on the concrete, and that kind of sucks. The hardest part was just downpipe and throwout bearing, but other than that, this was honestly a very straightforward, really so far easy to do, knock on wood, to get the 13B out of the FD's shell. I mean, really, it's it's not that hard. It's just a matter of just disconnecting things. I mean, the AC bracket, the power steering, the air pump, a lot of these things were just like 4 bolts that you had to take off. As you can see earlier, I did end up taking the entire harness out of the vehicle and taking it out with the motor in one piece. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I really did not want to take the harness out of the vehicle, because in my head, it was going to be a whole lot more difficult to remember how it went back together. But really, the hard part of the harness is still on the engine. So when I take the manifold off and I've got all the vacuum lines and the solenoids and the connectors, that's where the confusing stuff is. But taking it out of the car was just a matter of me disconnecting it from my ECU. And because I already had a Hall Tech, I knew where everything was. I knew where the connecting points were. That's not confusing at all. And then from there, it was just disconnecting the transmission harness, which is just like 3 or 4 connectors right above or right behind the bell housing under the car. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're here. This was season 1. Season 1's in the bag. That was just getting the engine out. Season 2 is going to be the breakdown, the diagnosis of what went wrong, and the rebuild. So I hope you come along.